Put you in a good mood. Oh, man. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the loserest of all losers lounges, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. What happened here, guys?
Man, the noise made itself.
The noise did make itself, man.
What a day. What a game.
It really just needed fart noises for this one. This was among the lamest games of the Jokic era. Just the Nuggets... I don't know, man. Like the starters hadn't been playing necessarily inspired, but they had been winning. I mean, a 6-game winning streak. You know, they've been getting it done, put their foot on the gas pedal when they needed. But tonight, they just didn't have it. 119-107. The Nuggets fall to the lowly Oklahoma City Thunder, who are missing so many guys. And there's no shortage of players to sort of pass the blame around. We're going to get to all of it. But first, I got to introduce my panel. I got Superstar Dev over here.
Hey, I'm just not excited to be here. We had a couple days off. I was excited to see, everybody. The pregame lounge, that was a banger.
Yeah,
I felt like that was a really good two-man show and things like that. And it's just
great
six game winning streak. I was like, hey, this is the one. This is how they set the tone. The Nuggets are going to come out. They're going to handle business. That was not what happened.
That was not what happened.
Not what happened.
I thought it was going to be like, okay, maybe it'll be a back and forth game for a while, but Denver will have their run and they'll get it on there. I did not see them getting blown out in this way, but fortunately, I did bring in somebody that I think will spice up the show. You got to bring the spice. It's my guy Zarko from Chicago via Novi Sad?
Novi Sad, Zranjanin, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the show, Zarko.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So
Happy to be here.
Well,
I'm glad I'm here, but I'm not glad we lost again.
You picked the worst possible game of the season to be here, so maybe you're not allowed in. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna have to start off as we always do. Kale. We might have to start off with the rundown. We don't have the graphic for it, though. The rundown! Here he comes. He's running over. The 2 minute... Actually, running. I'll tell you what. Usually I say it's 2 minutes of a rundown. This is going to be the fastest rundown I've ever done.
The Adam 60.
There it is. We're going to give you the rundown. The starters came out very lethargic, were ice cold, couldn't get anything going. You thought, oh, my God, they're going to make this hard on themselves. Oklahoma City packing the paint, daring Denver to shoot. Shoot, they did. Make, they did not. The bench came in and rolled. They looked just like we saw. DeMarcus Cousins, Bones Hyland, Bryn Forbes, Boogie Bryn Bones, all of them, the triple Bs. They were rolling. Starters come back in. You think, all right, that was the shot in the arm you needed. Put this team away. They don't want to be here. You could do it. Starters sucked again. Second time in, you thought, oh, my God, all right. Go into half. Regroup. Come back out here in the third quarter. You'll get something going again. Starters come out in the third quarter. They sucked again. It was amazing. A third straight stint where they were terrible. So what do? You go back to your bench, and once again, the bench carried you. Clawed all the way back, made it a game, made it within striking distance. So you think, all right, Denver just has to play a little bit like a contender. Bring the starters back in to close this game, play a little bit like a contender, and you can get it. And what do the starters do? Immediate, 6 minutes to go, Jokic checks into the game. He's actually with the bench. Immediate 7-0 run for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Denver just couldn't get it done. They finished the game shooting just 12 of 46 from the three-point line. First of all, 46 attempts, a super high number. 26% on those attempts. And by the way, one of those 12 came into final possession in garbage time with nobody guarding him. So really it was 11 of 55 or 45. Zarko, I'll start with you. What's your big takeaway from this game?
My big takeaway, stop calling blowouts, guys.
Stop predicting them.
Every time we predict this, we get blown out.
Well, I have to
unfortunately.
My mentions were not great today because last night at 3 a.m. By the way, this is one of those weeks we got a big announcement coming up later on in the week here as a company. So we got a big project we're kind of working on, and so this is one of those nights I'm up at 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at things and I go, you know what? Barton's going to do it today. So I put out the tweet right before bed. I'm like, Barton's going to break the record tonight. He's going to go 0 of 9 from 3 tonight. Will Barton could not hit the broadside of the barn, had wide open looks, but he wasn't alone. Jeff Green, 0 of 1. Aaron Gordon, 1 of 7. That one he made at the end, the only 3 of a starter, and it was because nobody was guarding him and the game was over. 0 of 9 from Will Barton. 0 of 4 from Nikola Jokic. 0 of 4 from Monte Morris. I haven't seen anything like that. I don't know when the last time Denver, a starting lineup, has gone that cold from shooting.
Yeah, that has to be that has to be the biggest takeaway. Is first off, the starting unit was so outplayed, and it was that was a very bad team, but it was also not only a bad team, they were missing a lot of players on a bad team. Right. So for SGA to come in here with those guys and to will them to a victory like that, I mean, you do want to give them a little bit credit, but also the Nuggets could not get anything going at all. Like if you go through the starting lineup, and that's what my biggest takeaway is, when you look at the plus minus, they were so outplayed by OKC starters.
Ridiculous.
This was like a reversal of what we've been seeing with that bench unit, where all of the starters, all of the bench unit positives,
Right.
every single one of them. Then you go over to the starters, minus 27, minus 21, minus 27, minus 25. They're so bad in the negatives, and it gives you a question of why did Malone go back to that starting unit with them playing so well. But then that's just such a hard spot to be in.
Because when was it? It was the Boston game, right? That this exact thing happened where then you end up playing. I know at that point it was just the Facu thing. But I don't know. How do you feel about the Zarko? Because I don't mind that he went back to the starters even though they didn't play well. To me, it's like you got to trust your guys. How do you feel about that decision?
Well, he should trust them, but tonight they didn't have it. They didn't have it at all. They're not having it for the last 3 games. But the bench is bailing them out technically, and
Yeah.
I wish they were better, but I hope they're gonna pick it up soon. But some of the guys looks really tired. It just
You think it's fatigue?
I think a little bit of fatigue, but also I'm not gonna say Barton was pushing. He really wanted it, but those are some of the shots they all of them can score them easily, and tonight they just didn't have it.
So I have a big takeaway. I mean, obviously the takeaway is they couldn't make shots. Here's my real big takeaway, though, because I think there's something to this. I do not think this is just an example of Denver going cold, although that's why they lost, because Oklahoma City's not a good enough team to beat them. Yeah. I actually think that this is a defense that has been deployed on the Nuggets a few times this year, most notably against the Clippers. Very good coach in Ty Lue, but what do they also have? A lot of length everywhere. They've just got 6'8" guys with great wingspans. It happened against the Pelicans. What do they have? Herb Jones. They've got Brandon Ingram. They've got guys with length. And then tonight you have Trey Mann, who doesn't have great length. He's the only one. Yeah. But outside of that, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I mean, that's what he's known for is his 7-foot wingspan. Pokashevsky, enormous wingspan. Baisley, springy, wingy. Roby, same thing. The defensive strategy is, and it's interesting, there's always about do you double, do you not double, this or that. What they did tonight, and when I looked at, by the way, when we looked at DraftKings Sportsbook, what would the line dev for assists tonight for Jokic? 6.5, right?
Yes,
6.5
maybe.
I thought it was 6.5, and I remember when you look at that, you go 6.5.
Yeah.
But I think they knew something. They're going to throw out this a lot of length, and they're not going to double the post. They're just going to stand right outside the paint, meaning they're like, if you're going to kick out, we're going to run out. We're not going to give you open threes, but we're going to sag everybody in the paint, put all of that length in the paint. Not necessarily like hard doubling Jokic, but they're in position to double him once he goes into a shooting motion. But more than anything, they have the length to say you're going to have to shoot quick and contested or drive to the basket. Denver doesn't have those guys.
Yeah,
I'm as taking note as much about the fact that they missed all of the threes, which again is just bad luck. But more than anything, I'm looking at the fact that if you look at the 3-point attempts versus 2-point attempts, Denver took mostly threes because they don't know how to get into the paint when teams do this to them.
Yeah, this, kind of reverts back to like when they didn't have a shooter. Because, when you look at those type of games, you just say they're giving them open shots. They were giving them open shots, and that was like a bit of the game plan, but also it was like daring them to shoot.
Right.
In ways where it's not just you're open, we're going to like get out slow, but we want to stop the paint. We want to stop Jokic from facilitating and getting everyone else involved because, back to your point, they don't have a guard that could get into and just be an irritant to the defense.
Right.
So they're not having to adjust as much. Also, the ball's not swinging around in the ways that other teams adjust to that. So these type of teams that you've been talking about, they just have the characteristics that just force Denver in different ways. Those athletic guys that just kind of get up and down and force you to play in different ways. And the Nuggets have a hard time of adjusting, and they're not making shots. And it's not even that the Nuggets have been bad shooters. They've been middle of the pack 3-point shooters for the year, but when you get put in situations like that, and then guys start missing, it starts to become just like a habit. They're just like getting into a rhythm of not making shots. So it was a lot of things just all at the same time that it just wasn't working.
You go to the other side of the court, and Oklahoma City shoots 16 of 29 from three. Now, they got hot. Like, Roby went 4 of 5 from three tonight. That's not who he is. That's not what he's known for. You know, you had some guys on that roster that shot a little bit above, and then 55% as a team on 29 attempts. That's really good. I mean, they ran hot. But I think these things are connected. Like, Denver not being able to establish a rhythm on offense. Oklahoma City was playing in transition all night and getting those comfortable shots. And then Denver, for whatever reason, just played this game on their heels a little bit. So, to me, I'm a little bit concerned about this, Zarko. I'm a little bit concerned about the idea of Denver's not as bad of a shooting team as they are tonight, but they do play a lot better off of rhythm, and I just don't know that they have. I'm not surprised Bones Hyland played well tonight because he can get to the paint. Yes. But like Monte, Barton, Gordon, they couldn't get to the paint tonight, and so there was no counter.
Nope.
Oh.
Today, nothing, unfortunately. Hopefully, next game, they're going to pick it up. Somehow, what I saw last few games, you can see how Jokic doesn't try to go inside to post. And, like, either he thinks I'm not going to, like, waste my energy too much on this. I'm not going to
The game, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't...
Exactly. And then he saw that several times they start doubling, and he would kick it out, what usually would be a point, 3-point. Today, nothing.
Right.
So that was also something that...
That defense where you sag off of the shooters, what it really does is take away your cutting lanes. And tonight, that's why I said, you know, Jokic with 4 assists. And I think 2 of those came in the final, like, couple minutes, like, right there. But for most of the game, he couldn't get assists because that's what they're doing. They're saying, we're not going to let you score on these post-ups. We're not going to let you score on cuts. But we're going to give you these shots. And if Denver was started hot tonight, they're up 20 points at the end of the first quarter. But Denver went cold, and it worked in their favor.
But we also know that when Denver actually plays good, is having it on offense, they're going to play good defense.
Right.
And especially the starters. Today, as soon as they went cold on offense, they stopped playing defense completely.
Yeah, with them not playing defense at all, like the fact that they allowed Oklahoma City Thunder to go for 119 points in that game, like it really did show that they just kind of mailed that one in early.
Right.
Because how do they not combat that? Like, okay, the shot's not falling. They're not, the Nuggets are not getting anything going on the offensive end, but make up for it defensively.
Exactly.
And they have not been doing that. And that's not even something I thought about in this game. I didn't think about and now I want to rewatch just to see what the effort level was with like a guy like Aaron Gordon, who's supposed to be the defensive guy because SGA goes off, the entire time. They also have 119 points, and those are guys that are not that. Like Isaiah Roby, for him to go for like 26 points, he's a guy that averages like 7 points a game, 6 points a game, but guys get comfortable and they get into a rhythm and they're going to give you their best shot because you're a team that's on the 6-game winning streak. You're a team that's like looked at as contenders, in the power rankings. You're number 5. They're going to give you their best shot, and they had it going tonight.
Yeah, Jokic tonight was disappointing. I mean, this was a game where it's funny because you look at the starters. He had 22 points. Nobody else was even at 10. It'd be weird to say like Jokic was the reason, but Jokic wasn't the solution tonight. Even though he got himself going in little pockets, when he checked into the fourth quarter, first of all, it's like, hey, the bench did their job. They pulled a big deficit down. I think it was 4 points at that point in the game. And you thought, here it is. They did their job. Now all you got to do is carry him home, and he didn't have it. But then on the other end, Roby gets 4 offensive rebounds. He was playing right. He was playing tonight, made some big like momentum swinging plays where you think, Jokic, that can't happen tonight. And then just the aggressive factor. Again, it's funny. He had 22, 16, 4, and 2. So it's like he put up numbers relative to what everybody else did. But this was one of those games where the whole team was kind of looking at him like, we clearly don't have it tonight. What do you have? And he just didn't have that answer as well. How do you grade his game?
Jokic or Roby?
Jokic. I mean, Roby gets an A. Roby played well tonight.
Well, Roby actually, every time he plays against the Nuggets, he plays really good. Yeah. But Jokic, like I said, to me, when I don't see him trying even to bully, he could bully every single person post down low, but he's not doing it. He's not doing it for last 3 games at all. Yeah. So I don't know what's the reason for that, but hopefully he's going to pick it up. Whenever he actually just goes down low and shows them what he can do, we know that he's going to take it over.
Yeah, that was a game.
He's not doing it.
That was a game that I thought he would go back to the beginning of the season where he's trying to score through double teams, where he's being aggressive and give me the ball in the paint. I'm going to go attack this guy. I'm going to go destroy. the Thunder they don't have a player that can slow him down, that can stop him. And that was a game where Roby, he didn't match Jokic, but he was like up there as far as where he's at in his tier. That is an A+ game from him.
Yeah.
So for him to be in the same tier as a guy like Jokic, that just goes to show you the type of game that they had. But also, he's talked about it in the last 3 games. Jokic has not been that, the killer instinct guy that's trying to just go and just headhunt. And that's what we seen earlier in the year where he got into the MVP candidacy, where the Nuggets were like, okay, they don't have Jamal Murray. They don't have, Michael Porter Jr. What will they do? And then he answers like, I'm still here. We haven't seen one of those monster games where he shows he's still here. And that was the perfect opportunity for that. And we talked about it in the pregame. That's the difference between like a him and an Embiid. Embiid would have went to the line 50 times maybe because he would have just demanded the ball and tried to make things happen, while Jokic just kind of lets things happen around him and he tries to play into it in different ways. He goes and has 6 turnovers in the game. So he is like trying to force the issues, but it's not in the ways that are going to win the game or just take over. So that was a game that it was like not a good Jokic game for sure.
Definitely not. I mean, are we worried, Dev? I mean, he's been a little bit, it's hard to say slow out of the gate, but I mean, there has been a little bit something different about him in these 4 games post All-Star.
I'm not worried, but I think that they need to tap back into like, hey, put the team on your back.
Right.
Get back to scoring every single time, getting back to touching the ball. Like, actually, that's something that you probably, could look at. He was touching the ball 100 times a game. Like, is he still doing those things? It doesn't seem like he's, the focal point of the offense every single time anymore in the ways that he was earlier in the season. So I am a bit worried that he's not shooting the ball as much. He's not dominating as much, and he just looks kind of disinterested, even though he is still having these big games.
He does. I don't want to call it an emotional funk, but he definitely does seem like closer to an emotional funk than we haven't seen these in like 2 or 3 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he feels almost closer to that than what we've seen. But, I mean, the story really isn't. So, Jokic is part of the story because we've seen him bail the team out so many times. But, again, he was the best starter tonight, and he was bad. But he was by far the best of the starters. That's how bad. I mean, Monte Morris tonight.
But he can do that with his left hand. Even when he's not trying, we saw the other day.
Yeah.
He's just going to put up numbers no matter what.
Well,
But-
one thing we've seen a lot of those, Zarko? Air balls.
Oh, yeah.
We don't see Jokic airball.
That's what I'm saying. Fatigue.
Maybe. He airballed a 3 again tonight. It's like 3 straight games
Yes.
with an airball. This is weird. This is like weird.
Exactly like you said. When he chooses to just shoot threes, you know what time is it.
Right,
And-
right. Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to go
Yeah.
inside or something here or there. Monte Morris, I know, like, it's funny because I put that Barton tweet out, so I don't know if people are all blaming Barton for this one. I mean, he was terrible. He deserves as much blame as anyone. But Barton, 1 of 10. Monte Morris, 2 of 9. Aaron Gordon, really 3 of 11, but goes 4 of 12 because he makes that last one. Like, that trio right there was just like, who do you count on? Who do you count on there?
You could not count on Jeff Green to do it all. I mean, he had some,
He had some nice
spark
plays.
plug moments, yes, but you cannot expect him to bail out the bench. I thought bench is gonna do it today,
Yeah.
and they might even do if he didn't bring the.
Well, we're gonna
But
say
Boogie, we saw that Boogie got tired. He was like a little limping after the game when he was getting out, and he was playing really good today.
this is how, like, when my girls start like crying or throwing a fit or something, I always tell them, like, hey, like, take your deep breath, exhale, let all the sadness out or whatever. They've gotten good at this, like this now. This is what the first segment is. Everybody, exhale all that sadness out, because there were at least a couple good things. Bones, Hyland, Boogie, Bryn, we're going to talk about them on the other side in the second segment. But that's starters. Concerning trend, a little mildly concerning trend. I will give one saving grace before we get out of this first segment, and that comes from my colleague, Matt Moore, because some people say, classic Nuggets, always doing this. The Nuggets now are 23-7 against teams below 500. That's the 3rd best record in the Western Conference. So, like, with this loss, 23-7 now. So this season, at least, Denver has taken care of the bad teams all the way up until tonight. So this is a little bit of a one-off. But let's take a break. On the other side, like I said, I want to talk about Bones, Boogie, and Bryn because they made me happy today, and there's at least some positivity on that front. But first, going to tell you guys about Sexy Pizza. What is Sexy Pizza, you might be asking? Well, with 13 years in the Denver community, Sexy Pizza is as local as it gets. Hand-tossed deck oven pizza made from scratch each morning. You choose your own adventure with their wide range of toppings, or try one of their philanthropies. A portion of every sale of these 5 specialty pies is donated to a range of different nonprofits right here in Colorado. Deb, when you call a pizza, do you call it a pie or do you call it a pizza?
Pizza.
Me too. I think a pie is more of an East Coast thing. You say, oh, that's a pie. That's a nice pie.
I've never even heard of that.
You never even heard of that. What do you
No.
say? It's a pizza?
Pizza is pizza, yeah.
Pizza is pizza, but you know what? Pizza people call it a pie. You're looking for it, go to sexy.pizza. That's the best URL in all of the world. www.sexy.pizza. You can check them out. 12-inch, 16-inch, 18-inch crusts. And, of course, they've got them Capitol Hill, South Pearl, Jefferson Park, and Park Hill. What else do we have on the docket? Ranch Rider. Oh, man, one of my favorite sponsors. Ranch Rider. If you guys don't know, this is my jam. Ranch Rider. We have a couple here. My personal favorite, we have this new thing going on. Ranch Riders are the canned cocktails. They've got a Paloma. They've got the Ranch Water, which is the jalapeno flavored tequila drink. They've got the tequila and salt. They've got the vodka and salt. They've got all of these delicious tasting ones. And they honestly, oh, here you go. You have them right here. With the jalapeno. First of all, I love this can too. I'm like a can specialist. You know, when you go to the liquor stores or whatever, you look at them. I always like the artwork on a can. The Ranch Water, jalapeno, reposado tequila, sparkling water, real lime, and jalapeno. We're gonna have these, by the way, on the DMDR party bus. They're gonna have a cooler in them, so you come in, you get to grab one, drink 1, 2, maybe 3 if you can get 3 down between here at the D and Ball Arena. But they're fantastic. Premium spirits, fresh squeezed citrus. You could find this in almost any of liquor stores around Denver. And if you do us a favor. Take a photo of this and then at us at DNVR_Nuggets. You'll enter to win a very cool chest full of Ranch Riders, a cooler full of Ranch Riders. You can go to ranchriderspirits.com, find a location near you. All right, let's get to the good stuff. I still don't understand my watch. I got the Apple Watch. You know, I got it. I still don't understand. It like does that stuff for me every now and then. It just starts talking to me.
Yeah, I think it's because you're saying close. That's close to Siri.
I said, what did I say?
If you say something close to
Siri, close to Siri, it thinks I'm talking to Siri.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you, Siri. All right, it went away.
She doesn't want to answer.
So, the bench. I know it's hard to look at silver linings, and I don't want to like polish a turd. This was a shitty loss. This was really disappointing. But the bench was very good, and in particular, Bones Hyland, like Boogie Cousins has been playing great. He continued to do that. Bryn Forbes has been making threes. He continued to do that. To me, tonight, Bones Hyland played one of his better games of his career. 19 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He was a plus 10. 5 of 6 from the three-point line. 6 of 8 overall. And just he looked more comfortable out there than anybody in the starting lineup in terms of solving what it was they were going. How do you evaluate his game tonight, Dev?
That was honestly a great Bones Hyland game. Like, you've seen pretty much everything. He played defense. That's not talked about enough is like the type of effort that he's given on that end of the floor, and we got to see that. He knocked down shots, and I'm talking about deep shots. He also created his own shots. He set guys up for different plays and tried to put them in the game. That second unit went as he went, and that was a little bit different because we've been seeing them go through Boogie Cousins in a lot of these situations, but he steps right in after like sitting because of an ankle injury, and he just looks unfazed. Quick, not thinking about like any type of injury that he had whatsoever, and just like right to playing. So like he carried that bench unit. The bench unit honestly could have won that game by themselves, just how they played in that type of game, and it was because they had Bones Hyland. He got to the free throw line. Like, really, I think that was like just a perfect sequence game from him. He did not make any type of mistakes at all. He's, pushing the pace and just doing everything that you love from him. So that was an encouraging game.
Yeah. What do you think about Bones?
Bones, you can see he is
you're representing
one
Bones.
of my favorite right now. Not just right now, since he came, he just put the smiles on your face, whatever he does on the court. Today he was terrific. I mean, I really enjoyed watching him, and him and Forbes also. Right. And just Boogie.
They made 10 threes. Denver had 12 threes. Yeah. They account for 10 of them.
Yes.
5 apiece.
Plus, he has the most free throws on the Nuggets team. That just
Yeah, it's a little bit.
incredible that Bones actually got to the free throws than anybody else.
And he had the second most assists behind Will Barton, who had
With
5,
four,
so which
yeah.
is kind of crazy. So he was facilitating. He was getting to the cup. He was playing with confidence. He was playing. You know what that second unit played with tonight? An edge.
All of them,
JMyke
yeah.
Green, all of them. DeMarcus Cousins, JMyke Green, Bones Hyland. Those three in particular just played with like a sense of urgency, but also with like they wanted to punch. They like wanted to fight, and you just didn't see that really from the second or the first unit at all. Bones was very encouraging tonight. We needed a couple of Bones night, especially a shooting Bones night, because he's been hot or cold from the 3-point line. 5 of 6, very hot. Bryn Forbes, the next guy. This guy's shooting. Came into the night shooting 45% from 3. He goes 5 of 11 tonight, so he actually increases his 3-point percentage. Yeah, I'm all in on Bryn Forbes. He's won me over.
Yeah, I love the way that he's been playing lately. And in a game like that, go and take 11 3-pointers, especially if they're forcing it and they're trying to get you to run you off of the three. I mean, to let you shoot the 3-pointer. He was smart in the fact that every single time that he shot a 3, he tried to get contact as well so that he could get 4-point opportunities. And things like that. He knocks down 5 threes in the game, so he actually like adjusts the defense where they're like, okay, when he's on the floor, we have to make sure that there is a guy staying on him, and that kind of opened up the spacing for other guys. So just having him out there, like it really did help in different regards, and that's pretty much why his plus minus is a little bit down, because they tried to offset it with the starters and just put him in that type of light. But yeah, you got to see that that's encouraging for Bryn Forbes. Like for a guy to play alongside Jokic, who's getting so much attention, and then you just pass it to him, and he's shot ready every single time, and he's actually starting to shoot the 3-pointer.
Right.
That's what you want, because earlier I felt like he was trying to do a lot as far as trying to prove that he was more than just shooting, that he could do different things. But they brought him here to be a shooter. He is the shooter for the team, so he has to shoot it. So for him to go 5-11 from 3, that's another good game from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love Forbes since day one. First of all, he's coming from San Antonio.
He is a Spur player, yeah.
So he knows how to play the right way. Second, I do love him when actually pairing with a Boogie, because he has like a 5-6 feet open space whenever time the Boogie screens for him.
Yeah.
And after that, even if he doesn't take the 3, if he does the mid-range, I really trust in his mid-range also.
Yeah.
I know that everybody thinks that's the bad shot, they hate it, but we saw that even in the playoffs later on, the mid-range is something that's going to bail you out.
Because teams start to overplay the 3, so they give him that.
Oftenly, Denver, unfortunately, we don't have that many mid-range guys except Jamal,
Monte, Jamal.
and MPJ is a
Jokic
Jokic,
also,
of
but,
course.
yeah.
But like running
From
off
the guards,
the screen and just having a wide open space and going inside and pulling, I really love that part of him.
And then, of course, DeMarcus Cousins tonight. Again, the stat line is whatever, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. So he does a little bit of everything, but his impact was huge. I mean, once again, the stat line, even though that's a good all-around, all-encompassing stat line, he just was stirring the pot tonight with everything that they were doing.
It just dawned on me that he just took his first loss.
His first loss, 10-0 now.
To the Thunder.
10-1. To the Thunder, I know.
It hurts.
That is brutal. And he had a
It wasn't his fault, though. Plus 15. Plus 15 in a 12-point loss. These are Jokic numbers.
And he's grabbing every single board that comes his way. He's also
he had a couple very competitive boards tonight.
Like he looks like he's just like getting in better shape. Like you could see him starting to play himself into like playing shape, and also he's still facilitating, and it just doesn't get talked about enough. And I think that that's something that the Nuggets try to do. Their backup center has to be a facilitator, has to get everyone involved. And he's been doing that while being, his same bully self. He's not picking up the technical fouls, but he's still setting the tone. He's still clapping at the refs. He's still not allowing guys to just go in there and do whatever they want, because he's going to get a foul. You're not getting anything easy when Boogie is out there. That was a good game from him, and it really hurts my heart that he took his first loss in that type of fashion, because that was not on him, honestly.
It really wasn't. Yeah, that's a tough one. JMyke Green, by the way, you talk about rebounding, 6 points, 10 rebounds tonight in 22 minutes, so he was on the boards as well. And he had that power-up dunk with through traffic, like a contested rebound. He just powers it up and dunks it. Like, they continue to just play real physical, really good style of basketball. Austin Rivers goes 4 of 5 from the field, gets 9 points, 2 steals. And then he hurt his thumb on a certain play or what have you. But, he continues also just to kind of step up and play well. We do have Harrison Wynn live from Ball Arena. We waited a little extra before starting the show, which, by the way, going to be a thing we do. It's going to be like 15 minutes after the game. Most people consume this as a podcast, and we just want to make sure that the show doesn't run 120 minutes or something every time. What is that feedback? Do you know, Cal?
Harrison, talk for me.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we just had a little feedback on our end, but there it is. It's solved. Harrison, did you have fun at the can tonight?
Man, I've seen a lot of really bad Nuggets losses. This might take the cake, though. This really might take the cake to a Thunder team that's not trying to lose with 3 guys on this bench unit that 99% of NBA fans have never heard of. This was a pretty stunning loss.
It just dawned on me that our party bus is against the Thunder. And we scheduled it in part saying like, oh, it's a surefire win. I mean, now you look at it. Well, I'll tell you what. Michael Porter Jr. back for that game. I don't think Denver's going to go 0 from 3 in the starting lineup if that's the case. But
well, we'll see if he's starting or coming off the bench that night. I guess that would be the deciding factor.
Either way, he's going to make some threes for us. So, all right, take us inside. In this game, do you have like any over-the-top takes you want to start off with about? I mean, sometimes these games can be overanalyzed, but is there any big takeaways?
I mean, you could tell from. I feel like the first couple plays of this game that it might be a weird one because, I mean, the starters for a second straight game came out with absolutely nothing. I mean, they just had from, like I said, the first couple possessions of this game. And the bench carried them and carried them and carried them. And Mike Malone went back to his stars and they couldn't close the deal. And I asked him about that in the post game if he thought about leaving the bench out there, and he said he did. He said it was a tough decision. If he had to do it all over again, he said he would have left the bench out there. But in the moment, he felt like a couple guys on that group, I'm sure he's talking about DeMarcus Cousins, were kind of at their physical limit. And so he decided to go back to the bench. But we could have left Austin Rivers out there. Could have left Hyland out there.
I think both of those guys probably deserved an opportunity in this one. When DeMarcus Cousins checked out, by the way, he actually kind of ran off the court and into the locker room, and I don't know what that was about. I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he almost looked upset that he got pulled out in that moment. And Jokic ran all the way over to try to dap him up, and he didn't even turn around to acknowledge him. So, do you know what happened there?
I don't, but yeah, that's definitely what happened. He checked out of the game and then kind of ran past the bench into the tunnel, but then came right back. So he wasn't gone long enough to take a bathroom break or anything. You think
he was just upset that he got pulled out and had to go scream in the tunnel or something?
Maybe, or puke because he's still trying to work himself.
It might have been that one as well. Yeah. All right. Well, what else? Take us. I'm sure the pressers were great.
Yeah. So I think the big takeaway was what I just said. Malone said, if he had to do it all over again, he probably would have left the bench in, and he said that group deserved to close out the game.
Do they win if he sticks with the bench? Do you think they win this game?
I don't know.
I know it's hard to say.
Not.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
You definitely go back to Jokic. I think that was an easy call, the correct call. Although he had an interesting game, but the other starters I don't know about. I don't know.
Yeah. Didn't really have the cavalry tonight.
Malone also said that yesterday's practice, he said, was awful.
Yeah.
He said it was an awful practice yesterday, and he thought it carried over into today. So I thought that was interesting.
Did he mention that at practice, though? Did he mention it was a bad one? Okay.
No. So I wonder if that was just a convenient thing to bring up today, but maybe it was a bad practice, and Bryn Forbes actually brought this up as well when people asked him about that. Maybe it was just a bad practice because they never practice.
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
That's what Bryn Forbes said. He's we never practice. So
I wonder if
that's why it was bad.
I wonder if they practice more in San Antonio. Bryn Forbes comes from San Antonio, so it'd be a curious question. I'm always wonder if all teams handle practice the same way, more or less, or if it's really a Michael Malone trait that he's like, give him the day off, give him the day off, give him the day off. Because the Nuggets really take a lot of days off.
Yeah, for sure. I also think it's a product of the last couple of years. There's just naturally not as many practices in the COVID world.
And Spurs have had a lot more time off than the Nuggets over the last two postseason runs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Malone was just talking about the game, and he said the box score pretty much spoke for itself. Aaron Gordon was the only starter to hit a three. That came at the very, very end of the fourth quarter. Every starter was in the negative 20s.
So crazy.
Which is wild. I mean, a second straight game where the starters haven't really shown up. So Malone was pissed. He was really pissed.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. We spoke to Bones tonight. The key to his success, and Bones was great tonight. 5 of 6 from 3, 19 points. He said he was just playing free, just playing my game. Shots were going in. I was just bringing that energy. And he said early in the game, the bench recognized that the starters didn't have it, and they were talking amongst themselves saying, all right, we got to bring the energy. It might be up to us tonight. And they did bring it, and it was up to them.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. And kind of just on the key to the second unit finding a lot of chemistry and rhythm lately, he said, look, we just like playing with each other. The guys in that second unit, we really like being out there together. We got a lot of ball movement. Everybody trusts each other, and you're kind of just seeing the results come to life here.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, that's the one good part about tonight was, the bench unit does continue to look much improved, and I'm gaining confidence in them with every game.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we spoke to Bryn Forbes as well tonight, who it's funny. Bones and Bryn Forbes both hit 5 threes.
Yeah.
That's 5 of your 12 threes right there, just between those two guys. Bryn said, hopefully this is just a hiccup. Look, we just won 6 games in a row. You hate to see this. This was a bad loss, but hopefully it's just a hiccup. And he was kind of talking about that bench group as well. He said the ball movement has been great. Everybody on that unit just has been playing unselfish. We all look to get each other involved. And he also said, look, we've also got a lot of guys that can, be threats. Like myself, Austin can get to the rim. Like Austin Rivers had a couple of nice drives tonight, and he's had a couple of nice drives, each game as of late. Bones can obviously do his thing. DeMarcus can play make. So, you got a lot of threats on that bench unit. And then he was just talking about playing with Bones, and he said, we're starting to find a rhythm together. We're starting to build a connection. Bones is a hell of a player. He can be really great if he wants to.
Man, I love that. You always love hearing that. People believing in him, including Bryn Forbes. I like it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I got from the presser. I just walked by Lindy Waters III. No idea that was him.
That's so lame. Gosh dang it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so lame. All right, Win. Well, get home safely. Thanks for the excellent reporting on this fantastic game. We'll put it in the vault.
See you guys.
Take our quick break. On the other side, though, I'm going to talk a little Serbia and talk a little bit about these gifts that we've been given by Zarko. We're gonna try them out here. But first, before we do, I'm going to tell you guys about one of our longest running and best partners, Breckenridge Brewery. You guys know we love Breckenridge Brewery and their Seltzies. We like them so much, we even have 8 drafts on tap here at the DNVR bar. Did you have a Breckenridge Brewery tonight?
Yeah, I have it. I had a lager today.
Which one? Oh, the lager?
Lager.
Oh, yeah. What did you think?
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So Breckenridge Brewery, we got all of them here. You can try the Vanilla Porter Jr., which I hear is coming back very soon. The Vanilla Porter Jr.
Let's hurry up.
We're 2 weeks away maybe from getting to try the Vanilla Porter Jr.
Right.
You can also try out their Seltzies and their Good Company lemonades. It's actually Fake Spring is all about the lemonades. You got to try the lemonades and Seltzies right now. You can also go down to the farmhouse. They've got lots of great food, a really cool bar food down there in a cool setting if you want to check out something different down south in Centennial. Breckenridge Brewery. If you don't know where you can find Breckenridge Brewery, go to the Google, the Breck Brew Beer Locator, put in your zip code, and they'll tell you right where you can find one. And then lastly, you guys know the presenting sponsor of this show, DraftKings Sportsbook. This weekend, UFC 272 is happening. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the UFC, and they have this knockout offer for new customers. Bet $1 on the main event And it doesn't even matter. You don't even have to. It doesn't matter if you win or not. If you bet $1 on the main event, you get $100 in free bets no matter what. First round knockout, you get paid. Majority draw, you get paid. Double knockout resulting in a no contest. Probably not going to happen, but if it does, you still get paid. DraftKings is safe, secure, reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So download the top-rated sportsbook app right now, DraftKings Sportsbook, and bet $1 to win $272 in free bets. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, final segment here. Zarko, all right, we're through this game. We moved on. It's already Thursday.
Survived it.
Yeah, we survived it. It hurt. It stung. You brought us some goodies. First of all, if you really want to be a friend of the show, a true homie. A true homie. Like, we have a lot of homies in the chat. We got some homies that stop by the bar from time to time. But if you want to be a true first ballot DNVR homie, you bring us gifts. Preferably alcohol or food. Like, that's really it. Or these gnomes. So walk me through. What do we have here?
So these are some Serbian classics, I can say.
Okay.
Jaffa Keks. It's orange biscuit with a chocolate on the top.
Is orange? Like, orange and chocolate's not a combo I think about.
Yeah. What is orange?
Orange is like a jelly inside, orange jelly.
Orange
really
jelly.
Good. I mean,
all right, this one's a good one.
My wife doesn't like it, but that's my favorite.
All right, here you go.
My whole road from Chicago to here, I was eating this and banini. Yep.
All right, let's try them out. Jaffa cake.
Jaffa. Yes. So J is.
Oh wow. Chewier than I expected.
Yeah, softer than I thought.
Oh wow. So it's like orange flavored, like chewy bread, and then and it's got like a marshmallowy chocolate. All right, I'm gonna give this one.
Usually people have a special way of eating this. They eat first this biscuit part.
Yeah.
And they just
then the middle.
They just peel the whole thing.
Really?
Usually kids does that. Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Give it 6 out of 10.
It's better than Rakia.
It's definitely better than Rakia. Gail,
we still need to guys.
Come try one. You get in on this as well. Super producer Kale. Nice catch. All right, so we got Jaffa. Did I say it right, Jaffa? All right, what do we have here?
So this is the one of the oldest companies, Bambi. It's in Požarevac. Shout out to my best man Petar. He lives there, and he actually knew the owner of this company.
Okay.
Fortunately, I think he died recently, but doesn't matter. This is one of the kids' best treat. This is like every part of every lunch of the kid. This is literally. You can eat it by itself. You can eat it with the milk.
This
to
me looks like nothing.
This is
pretty
not
plain.
like a lot of. It's plain,
yeah.
but still, they say it's really nutritious.
Really?
For example, you can buy it. It's already grounded. For example, like you do the gram.
I think this one. This
is a good one.
So if you do a graham crackers for cheesecakes, this is what we use in Serbia for the cheesecakes.
Oh really? Oh, so like a crusty. Yeah.
So you're gonna use this.
This one I'm all in for.
So this
is like
is,
animal cracker.
If there's a kid that didn't have this when they were little or adults,
I'm going 8.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Last year when I was traveling to Amsterdam to see my friend,
maybe?
and she was calling me like, "You have to bring me like several package of this." Yes.
Yeah. Somehow I ended up on like first class, and they gave me one of these like.
Yeah.
What?
Like a cookie. Yeah, they gave me
for real one.
Yeah, this.
I don't eat you have to understand. I don't eat pastries or sweets. Like I'm like I don't know. Oh wait, this looks different than I thought. All right, tell me about this one. Wow.
Yeah, we should have started with that.
Well, no, we had to end. He told me this was the best one.
It's actually a newer product, like maybe the last 5 years that I noticed.
What is it? Banini.
Actually, I mean, I was not in Serbia for some time.
Here you go,
but
Cal, close up here if you need.
It's
Banini.
It's apricot inside, and it's
Apricot's
really
not like a flavor.
Really battery.
It's not like something I'm going to a lot. I'm not always jonesing for apricot.
If you're from Vojvodina like Jokic, apricot is one of the main.
Really?
So apples.
So he probably eats this one, huh?
Yeah, this is like I could eat. I don't know how many of this like easily.
Really?
And like how I do it, you just go around
like a gel in the inside.
Yeah, but you eat it around slowly because it's so buttery and nice.
You don't just bite?
You can do whatever you want, but I say I do it like that because I just love. It's really buttery.
Now I know how Jokic was so big. Yeah, you got to get in on these.
Yeah.
You got to get on these. This one I like. This one I dig. This one is.
This one is one of also my favorite.
This one is like a. I'm gonna give this one also 8.5 out of 10. I like this one. This one's like tastier, but I can tell this one also has like more sugar in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is not as healthy as the other one.
No,
You know
no,
it.
Well, probably this biscuit Bambi Plasma is the most healthiest here.
Wow, this is awesome. Now we have treats here. Oh, these are fantastic. So, Chicago, I know, has a huge Serbian population. Where you're from, just you know, are there a lot of Jokic? Is like Jokic a presence in Chicago? I mean, are people you see on Jokic jerseys and talking to people about Jokic?
Actually, not really.
Really?
I was in December on a game when played Chicago and
Yeah.
in Denver. I thought I would see much more. I mean, I have a lot of Serbian friends there, but not all of them are really following basketball. A lot of
Really?
them. Well, first of all, a lot of Serbians here are truck drivers, so they don't really have time.
Truck drivers.
Truck
Okay.
drivers. So Serbian business in U.S. is trucks.
Okay.
And so they don't always have time to watch all those games. My friend, for example, he would watch it to me because I don't miss a game.
Okay.
I really like basketball, any sports technically.
Right.
But I thought I would see much more flags when I was in
Really?
in arena that day.
Yeah. Are you excited? So, are you going to catch a game on Friday? Like, are you going to be at the arena?
Actually, I think I'm gonna go with you guys on that party bus.
On the party
Yeah,
bus,
on
yeah,
the-
hell yeah, there you go.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
And
you
even
also-
bring my Serbian flag.
Yeah. You also brought us some rakia. What is the name of the rakia that you brought us?
So the one that I got, it's
Kel, can you grab it? We can put it on
yeah,
screen so
this
people
one
can see
is
it.
actually I'm not from Novi Sad, but I live in Novi Sad because I was studying
Nope.
there.
Other one.
And this one is called Savka.
Savka.
And
Nope.
it's
To the right.
like a suburb of Novi Sad. It's called Veternik.
Uh-huh.
And it's that area is really known because it's one of we don't have that many mountains there, but in Vojvodina you have that small mountain called Fruška Gora, and Veternik is there. So we have a lot of fruits. This is one of my quincy brandy. That's one of my favorite fruit to have rakia from, but that fruit is not the best to eat by itself.
Really?
It's something in between pear and apple. So it's
That sounds delicious.
It does.
it
sound-
is,
This one
but the
actually
only
smells
problem is
good.
really hard. It's really hard when you eat it, and when you bite it, it kind of shrinks your mouth when you eat it. It has a really weird textures.
What?
It has a really you have
Sounds
to
like
try
something
it.
I want.
Yeah, you have to try it. It has a really it's really aromatic fruit. So that's something that is. And for example, to get one bottle of this, you need a lot of fruit.
Really?
A lot of fruit.
Really?
So that's why it's not like who knows to make good quincy. It's actually called dunya.
Okay.
Who can make this rakia good? That guy knows how to make rakia. Then
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a question from you because you know you're my Serbian brother. Everybody knows that. Everybody out here knows that. And you stay in Chicago, where you're from. When they have Serbian night, does that do something for like the community in Chicago? the
actually,
Serbian
I don't even
community?
know when they had it last time.
No, that was in Milwaukee. They
that
did
was
it.
in
Remember?
Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah,
they had
did
it
do
in Toronto
Yeah.
before.
Does
Yes.
that bring people out? Do you think?
It should. It should. I hope they would.
Yes.
But I don't know. Is Jokic actually like appreciating or liking and wanting that? We
Maybe.
know he's a low media guy, but
Yeah.
I think it should. It should bring people. I thought I would see much more people anyway coming to watch the games,
Yeah.
but I understand that not everybody has time and it's not always affordable for everybody to
Right.
do it. Yeah.
Right. Well, we have a super chat, Gil.
Yep.
Let's hit our super chat. Carl says, with the starters going 1 of 25 from 3, you got to call it the I-25 game. I'm so in on this. The I-25 game is the only driving the starters did today. Man, Carl, I feel like I owe him
Yeah.
for the super chat.
That
What
was
a
a good
great
one.
one. You're
That
right.
was a
This
good
was the I-25 game. I-25, man.
That's clever.
That is very clever. We got a clever audience. Cue that outro music, Cal.
Yeah, I've been on that road today.
Nuggets fans, I'm just going to give you one little piece of advice here. I haven't even checked my mentions, Dev, because they were not good during the game. People were for real mad at me. For I had pecked at the game because I said that Barton was going to break the record today.
And what's
he
wrong
was
with you
terrible.
for wanting a player to make shots?
I'm telling you, man. This is the way. This is
Like,
how
just think about that.
People have to think about how they approach the world, man. That's like they just want to like. We got to blame somebody. It's Mares. Mares ruined this for all of us. He cursed us.
He wanted Barton to make shots.
I love that my prediction not only affected Will Barton, it also affected Monte Morris. It affected Nikola Jokic. Like, somehow I cursed everybody. My advice to everybody is, this one happens and it sucks. Like, it feels terrible. You're probably going to wake up and have to go to work tomorrow. The alarm's going to sound extra loud tomorrow. The shower's going to be extra cold. Okay, the drive to work is going to be extra slow. The sun is going to be shining extra dimly tomorrow. Like, it's just going to be how it feels. But I'll tell you, let it go. Friday night, a chance to bounce back against the Houston Rockets. You can go to Ball Arena. You can come to the DNVR bar. I'm sure it'll be popping here Friday nights at the DNVR bar. It's always a good time. So we'll hope to see you then. Tomorrow and Friday, I am out of town. Eric is out of town. Vote is out of town. Dev, you're hosting the show solo tomorrow?
I mean, it's time to ISO, man. It's time to ISO.
Oh, man.
If I shoot too much, oh well.
That's okay.
Give me the ball.
I love this, man.
Set the record.
What's
What's
the most shots you think you've ever taken in a rec league basketball game? If you were to guess.
Maybe like 26, 27.
26, 27. That's a lot of
Arms was
shots.
hurting.
Yeah, I was going to say. Running
very,
clock.
very tired.
Running clock. There's only like 30 possessions in a rec league game. So that's a lot of shots, man.
Everybody's just like, okay. All right, now. Yeah,
you
we
by
know you
yourself?
made a couple.
Are you doing the cut, fake pass? Nope.
Set the screen.
Set the screen. Nope, shooting it again.
You
All
heat
right.
check after one.
You got to heat check.
ISO def.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Hit that like button on the way out. Be easy.